Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Raw Dog Monday, where we recap the latest episode of Monday Night Raw. I am your host for the show, Coach. I am joined by my two esteemed co-hosts. We have the man, the myth, the Booker of the Year, Fritos,
I love you, Coach!
and we have Big Daddy C, not only doing the co-hosting duties, but also producing the show tonight. Big Daddy C, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good, Coach. How's it going? What's going on, Fritos?
Nothing much. Oh, happy early Thanksgiving to all the Wee Bucket fans. Remember, Christmas doesn't start till Black Friday after you knock out a Single Mama 3 for a PlayStation 5. Just saying.
You think I'm going to let anyone get there in front of my kids?
They got another thing coming.
Thankfully, I got my PlayStation 5 already. Didn't need to smash anybody. Pay for it on my own.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's jump right on into the recap of Monday Night Raw. The Monday night starts out with Gunther heading to the ring to do an interview with Jackie Redmond. She asks him a hard-hitting question about why is he the way that he is now? Why does he seem so timid? But before he can answer anything, Damien Priest comes out to a pretty good pop. So I think this babyface turn is finally starting to get Priest over a lot. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Priest kind of goes back and forth with Gunther, the same stuff we've been hearing the last couple weeks. Gunther then eventually hits him with the microphone. They brawl outside, but Priest hits a razor's edge onto the announce table to close the segment, and he stands tall. Basically, the kiss of death, meaning that Gunther's going to retain at Survivor Series. Guys, your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Gunther's looked weird. He's lost his aura. So whoever is going to compete after Priest, after Survivor Series.
Fritos is frozen.
Oh, am I?
And wait.
I got frozen. But back to it.
You are frozen a little bit.
My bad. But back to it, I really think Punk's going to be his next competitor, and everyone was worried that Punk was going to look a little bit weak against Gunther. So I think him, being a little bit more timid, a little bit more human than that, robotic general in the ring is going to be easier for them to transition to Punk being the world heavyweight champion to build that feud with Seth.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting too. Just considering how the previous feud was between these two when they had their last match, or leading up to their last match. I feel like Gunther pretty much had. I feel like he had the edge. Pretty much had the momentum going into the pay-per-view. I know it was mostly promos compared to physical fighting between the two. But now this time I feel like it's a lot more still personal, but there's a lot more action and a lot more fighting going on this time around. And it's good to see. It's just unfortunate because normally whoever gets the momentum going into the pay-per-view typically does not win that match. So, but you never know. They could surprise us, and who knows, Gunther might end up losing. I mean, he did lose to Sammy at WrestleMania, losing the championship, the Intercontinental Championship. So he could, and he lost against Cody in the match that we thought, Cody had no shot. In the what was it, the Crown Jewel Championship for the men's. And so, but I think the fact that he did lose against Cody, I don't see him losing back-to-back main event matches. So I definitely think he's going to retain against Priest. But you got to make it look good. You got to make Priest look good going into the pay-per-view. Make it seem like he has a legit chance. So that's my thoughts on it.
All right. So as we get ready for our first match of the night, it is a tornado tag team match. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
Man,
between Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio and American Made in a pretty solid match. A lot of good in-ring chemistry between these four. Eventually, Chad Gable does interject himself into the match by trying to blind Rey Mysterio with his own mask. That allows Julius Creed to hit his finisher for the victory, and American Made finally gets their much needed victory to end their losing streak. And I thought what really stood out with that segment was at the very end when they celebrated on the announce desk and Joe Tessitore went off script talking about how he's trying to do his job. I don't know if that was a planned off script moment, but it seemed spur of the moment, and I thought that was great by by Tessitore. But you guys, your thoughts on this match?
That was a very decent match. I mean, they're extremely good athletes. I mean, this is the momentum that I think is going to build American Made, hopefully being the rightful tag team champs to dethrone Judgment Day. Sorry, spoiler alert there. But yeah, it's going to be the momentum building, I think, where we finally see they go on that winning streak now on. But I mean, LWO is going to be fine. They're going to have, I think this might be a trilogy feud, just something, filler going on. But I think this is definitely going to help launch American Made.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have too much to add to it. I definitely think it's time for these guys to really take the next step. I think Judgment Day they've had their run, and I think it's time for some new blood. To have that tag team gold. And so I'm excited to see American Made really get to that next level. I've been high on them since their NXT days, when they was with the was it the Diamond Mine or something like that, the group they had with Roderick Strong. It was them. It was them, Roderick Strong, and the chick that's with them now, the Nebula. Yeah. And so but yeah, it was the four of them, and then they had the black dude that's in AEW now, the bald head guy with the weird mustache, but he's funny. I forgot his name. He's comical, but he's in AEW now, but he used to be the manager for the Diamond Crew with Roderick Strong. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, especially with Chad Gable leading the charge. I'm hoping that he eventually gets another run at a mid card title. Who knows? They might try to jump the gun and push him towards a world championship run. You never know. So I'm excited to see what happens with this tag team.
All right. After the match, we get a little bit of tension backstage between Bianca and Rhea Ripley, trying to figure out who their fourth member is. And my prediction for that, we're setting the seeds for a possible WrestleMania match between these two. And that was really that segment. Nothing really crazy happened there. But then we move on to our next matchup, which is the Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser. And Kaiser had a lot of control in this match. And right before Breaker could finally mount his comeback, oops.
Ouch, you dropped me.
Accidentally hit my phone charger cord there. Before Breaker could start his comeback, Kaiser was lining up for a spear of his own to mock Breaker, and Sheamus came out to interfere, broke the match up, and we get a disqualification. Then a brawl ensues between all three, which leads to Adam Pearce coming out and saying that this will be a triple threat match now at Survivor Series. Guys, your thoughts?
Thought the match was fantastic. I'm glad that Sheamus interfered with it. I'm excited for this triple threat match. Out of all the title matches that we got on the card for Survivor Series, this is the one where I can see the title change happen. I can finally see Sheamus get his IC title moment at this point. because if he doesn't, I don't think they're going to pull the trigger for a while.
Yeah, I think like I like this feud. I like this whole feud between these three. It's been brewing for a while, at least on the side of well, it really started with Ludwig and Sheamus a while back, and then now you interject Braun into this, and so it's you think about hard hitting matches. Well, as Sheamus likes to call it, the banger. There's definitely going to be one of those at Survivor Series, and even if Sheamus doesn't win, I think he's at that point now, even though he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. I think he's at that point now. Same thing with Orton, where like they're the seasoned veterans that's there that pretty much help put the younger talent over, and help kind of like build them up, and give them that true opponent, that true rivalry, true feud, for them to like really build on to help improve their character as they climb up the ranks.
All right, so then moving on, we have a couple of backstage segments. We have first the Judgment Day meeting together, Finn Balor trying to assert himself as the leader, and from that, Dominic Mysterio giving him side-eye pretty much the entire time, which I found interesting. But of course, we get R-Truth running in, saying that he's hiding from Butch, to where Finn Balor says, "Get out of our clubhouse," and R-Truth saying, "Well, we used to be family, but Thanksgiving's canceled now." And he walks out. So thank you, R-Truth, for saving that segment. And then our second backstage encounter, it is Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. They're doing a quick interview, and they say that CM Punk and Roman Reigns are going to sit down and hash out their issues ahead of Survivor Series this Friday night on SmackDown. Guys, any thoughts on those two backstage segments, or should we move on?
God bless R-Truth. Honestly, I thought the break of the Judgment Day is probably going to happen sooner than later, just the way how everyone's acting around each other. Also, I love how unofficially they're called the Street Trash, because originally their clubhouse was, in a locker room or just in a room. Now it's out in the hallway, just with stuff around it. So I find it, comical with that. But I'm also excited for this meetup too with Punk and Roman Reigns. Also, we got that announcement for the match with Jay and Jacob Fatu, so that's going to be a nice little cherry for Friday night.
Yep. No thoughts on the Judgment Day. No thoughts on that. But like you said, Fritos, I am excited for the meetup with Punk and Roman on SmackDown. Seems like SmackDown is pretty much. I feel like Raw is where you get a great mix of both good promos and like amazing matches. I feel like SmackDown is where it's all heavy, like storyline heavy, where we like really like it's just chaos all around. But it's still great to see on both shows. So I'm definitely anxious to see what happens on Friday. The reason I was doing this is because I got an alert. Because of course there's a Monday Night Football game going on right now, but the Manning cast they still do their thing with Peyton and Eli. I guess their guest is Owen and Luke Wilson. I don't know why I did not realize that these two were related. It's just never dawned on me, just seeing them two like side by side. I was like, oh damn, I never really correlated it. Like they're, but yeah, I just never. And they make the same facial expressions and like everything. It's just like I've seen them in different movies, all that other stuff, and it's just like, damn, why did I not realize this? Probably because I haven't seen them in movies together. Like maybe if y'all have, let me know. I'm gonna have to look at it myself. But like I just never really noticed it that they were related. It's crazy, but yeah, it was just random. It's just I'm like, wow, just some things you find out. But yeah, go ahead, Coach. Sorry.
No, you're good. So our next match is the World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. I mean, nothing to go home with. I thought it was an okay match. Typical Judgment Day. Mysterio and Carlito come out, provide a distraction. Balor uses a cheap shot. McDonough rolls up for the victory. Yeah, that happened. The one thing I will point out with that match, crowd was really behind the War Raiders, which I found very interesting because they are kind of they're still kind of building that momentum, but tonight might have been the tipping point to where they finally got over. Your guys' thoughts on this match?
Same thing. Nothing really to write or talk about, but other than War Raiders are going to be one of those sneaky tag teams are going to build momentum. I think they're going to be up there with American Made eventually to be like the top 2 tag teams on the Raw side.
I'm going to reiterate what I said last time. They're gonna build these dudes up for them to go nowhere yet again, and so I expect that to happen again. The Viking Raiders said it. No, the War Raiders.
There you
Sorry.
go. All right, then we go to our next match, which is the New Day versus Alpha Academy. Now, before the match, we get the announcement that next week will be the 10th year anniversary of the New Day, and we are bracing ourselves for that because it's either going to be Big E coming back or the breakup. So, but anyways, before that, both Kingston and Woods vowed to squash their tension and get ready for the match. And that was very short-lived because they still were arguing with each other. That eventually led to a surprise Alpha Academy victory and more tension. Woods and Kingston both arguing into backstage and again teasing that breakup. And one thing that was just the back and forth, the one shot that really got the crowd's reaction was Woods calling back to Kingston losing to Brock Lesnar in 7 seconds, and the whole crowd went nuts.
6
Guys,
seconds,
your thoughts?
by the way. But yeah, first things first, I love the New Day's ring gear. I'm a huge anime fan. The fact they're still paying homage to Dragon Ball was amazing. Kofi Kingston wearing the Goku outfit, then Xavier Woods wearing a Goku black outfit. It's fitting, especially since if you're in the anime world, Goku Black is a bad guy. He's a villain. And the fact that Kofi Kingston is doing that, he's got more of the heel tendencies. They're teasing it. They're not going to, if they bring Biggie, I still think they're going to break up. Just after those words they had with each other, there's no coming back. So it's happening. And I think it's going to launch Xavier Woods to a great little mid-card singles run, really. But yeah, get your tissues ready. It's going to be an emotional Monday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like it's like for it to be 10 years, knowing it's pretty much it's been time for it to come to an end, especially with Big E possibly not being able to return to the ring, to be an in-ring competitor. It just makes sense for them to end it because without all 3 of them together, it's almost like with the Shield, it doesn't work. So I think Mike just messed with me, probably telling me watch the time. But yeah, But yeah, I think it's just time for it to go. It's gonna be sad, but that's my thoughts on it.
What does he mean? Watch the time. We're doing great.
I know he says to like kind of like keep it within 20 to 25 minutes, but
we're doing good.
He's not here. He ain't here. He can't hurt us. He can't mute us. We're good.
All right, then we get
these banners on the bottom. Well, go ahead. Go.
No, you're good. Then we get a couple more things before our main event. We get a backstage segment with The Miz and Final Testament. They return to their locker room to see Scarlett has been beat up and is traumatized after Nikki Cross of the Wyatt Six came in and manhandled her to develop that rivalry more. But also, which this one I found kind of interesting, this was before Raw went on air. Adam Pearce revealed a new Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, why that wasn't on the live show, I don't know, but it was basically it was before the show had started when he revealed this, and they talked about it, Testator and Barrett. It happened. We knew the Women's United States Championship had come, and we had all predicted that the IC Championship wasn't too far behind. Quick thoughts on either of those two segments?
I love the White Six and the Final Testament stuff. It's a great build-up. They're really taking their time with it. It's a typical Bray Wyatt build-up, how they do it, where it drags out a little bit, but the payoff's great. So I'm waiting for the payoff. So just wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, the IC Women's, it was bound to come. We all knew it. Just expect Selena Vega to be your first IC Women's champion.
No. Get off the Zelina Vega train, please.
I'm on the train, baby.
No.
Choo.
No. I think
so. I take it that's your thoughts on the segment. See,
yeah, like the IC title, yeah, like I said, it was inevitable. But the Y6, like I said, I'm ready to see this match. That's where I'm at with it. What type of match it's gonna be, I don't know. But it'll be nice to see what kind of involvement they all have. Has it been made official yet?
Not yet.
Nothing's been official yet.
Yeah, they running out of time, so they gotta because this was the go home show, right?
Yeah, they probably won't do anything for Survivor Series. I bet they drag this out a little bit.
It'll be a rumble.
Thank God they did away with the pre-show stuff, because like at least with the pre-show matches, because I hated that. I hated the pre-show matches, man. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
All right, then we go to our main event, which is the Women's War Games Advantage match between Nia Jax and Bianca Belair. A nice little back and forth contest. Good showing from Bianca. And right when Bianca was about to be counted out, and Nia was in full control, here comes Bayley out of the crowd, whips Nia Jax off the ring post and down on the ground. She yells at Bianca to finish the job, where Bianca hits the 540 splash, covers for the win, and Bianca is shocked that Bayley was there to help her out despite their most recent history. They both kind of smile at each other, and Bianca's team gets the advantage in the War Games match. Guys, thoughts on Bayley probably being the fifth member now with Jade Cargill out?
Boo! Boo! Throw the tomatoes. Boo! No, we don't want her. No, it's too damn predictable. Hell, I'll rather Bayley or not Bayley. I'd rather Becky or Charlotte be the fifth member. Like, come on now. Like, no, I want Bayley, man. It was no. Damn you, Mike, because you know how I love Bayley. But no, I feel like Mike's heel tendencies against Bailey has creeped into my soul now when it comes to being too involved with things. Now I still laid a smack of down on Bailey, but like, you know, I can't. No, I don't want to see her in this War Games match. No, we don't need to see it.
I thought the match between Nia and Bianca, typical match, is very good. They got great chemistry in there. Shouldn't have been surprised. I mean, they're doing a storyline with Bianca and Bailey where it's forgiveness, essentially. Bianca never trusted her. After this, they're going to build trust. They're building something with them. So as much as, Big Daddy C doesn't want to see Bailey in there, they're going to put one of the 4 horsemen in there, 4 horsewomen. I mean, we still don't know about Charlotte, and Becky's not going to come back till that first Netflix on Raw, so it was bound to be Bailey.
All right, and that concludes Monday Night Raw. A pretty solid go-home show. Nothing really to write home about. I give it a solid B-. What do you guys grade it?
I give that a B.
Yeah, same here.
Good. Glad we're all in agreement there. All right. And to all of our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for being with us here on this Monday night. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to all of our content. We are on pretty much every social media platform. So please give us a like, give us a follow, repost our stuff. Just do something with it. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and we are getting very, very close. And we need to thank all of you who have spread the word about our podcast and all the great content that we are shoving out for each and every one of you. Until next time, for Fritos, for Big Daddy C, I'm Coach. We'll see you next time here on the We Book It podcast and Monday Night Raw Dogging.
Hey, Jada.
Christ.